MTG Scoundrels, it's in the cardboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, scoundrels of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Modern Weekly. Today on the docket, we have an old classic in Green White Hatebears versus Sephiroth Soultrader. Another great week of Modern Magic the Gathering. We're proud to bring this match to you. Looks like Soultrader on 6 after the mulligan. Razorverge Thicket into Noble Hierarch. Passing the turn. Cave of Agadeem. It's in a car classic. Ghost Quarter into Noble Hierarch and passing. And it's wondrous to see Noble Hierarch back on the modern table. There's an Eldrazi Temple in passing. End step. Phelia coming in. Untapping. Drawing for turn. Two mana for White Orchid Phantom. Targeting the cave. In response, here's a Kozilek's command. Making an Eldrazi spawn. And scrying one, drawing a card. Going ahead, drawing it. White Orchid Phantom hits. And the Soultrader player will search for a basic. Hopefully not all of them are in hand. Well, there's a swamp. Phelia attacking in. Exiling the White Orchid Phantom. And this is classic Green White taxes. Well, really Green White Hatebears. Dealing the 2, the counter will come in. Canopy dealing 1 damage. Flicker Wisp entering. Hierarch will come back. White Orchid Phantom will come back. Hitting the Eldrazi Temple. This is where the deck shines. Finding a swamp. And there's still a Ghost Quarter on the battlefield as well. So we are sitting at 19-16. And Hatebears looking like it is in complete control. But the Soultrader list can win out of nowhere. There's the third basic. Passing the turn. Attacking in the air. targeting the Flicker Wisp, but Orcish Bowmaster will come in and kill the Flicker Wisp. Moving to blocks. Orc Army going to get in front of the Phelia. Just taking 2 here, going to 19 to 14. Ghost Quarter targeting the swamp. And failing to find. Hatebears, a really fair deck, but one you will have nightmares about. And so many upgrades since its early days. Here's a Marionette Apprentice. That'll come with a servo. Passing the turn. Drawing for turn. Attacking with 1 or attacking with 2 here? Attacking with 2. Phelia targeting the Eldrazi spawn. That'll deal 1 damage, thanks to the Marionette Apprentice. This Phelia is at 3 power. Could technically triple block. Yeah, looks like that's what the Soultrader player is going to do. And that'll bring us to 17 to 12. Marionette Apprentice does not see itself die. For a drain. Then here's a Leonin Arbiter. Green White Hatebear Classic. There's a Phyrexian Tower. Into a Bogart Trawler, which will exile the graveyard. And pass the turn. Cracks the Canopy. Cast a Phelia. Phelia's going to attack in for 4. Doesn't technically get the counter. Just yet anyway. Going to block with the servo. Could have probably blocked with the Bogart Trawler. That's alright. It'll get the counter at end step. Taking 3 off the backside of a Bogart Trawler to cast a Bogart Trawler, exiling the graveyard, passing the turn. would have had to block with 2 creatures onto that Phelia the first time anyway. Phelia attacking in. Doesn't technically get the counter. But there is a double block that needs to happen. So that'll trade. White Orchid Phantom going to come back onto the battlefield. Destroy the land. Cave of Agadim coming in. There's a Cling to Dust. That'll exile a creature, gain 3 life. Bring us back to 17 to 12. The Soultrader player's still in it, shockingly. But the Hatebears player just landing haymakers. Arbiter going to get in for 4. Land for turn. Archon of Emeria. Well, that'll shut a door in terms of casting multiple spells. Deciding if the Warren Soultrader is the play here. 3/3 body is relevant. But the Archon's going to start swinging in for 4. That's at least a 2-turn clock. So instead, looks like an Overlord of the Balemark is going to be cast here. Milling 4. Okay, Gravecrawler in the bin. We know there's a Soultrader in hand, but there is an Archon on the battlefield. Bowmaster still might be the play. Kills a Hierarch, which takes 2 damage off. But passing the turn here. Noble Hierarch. Casting another Noble Hierarch. Activating the Stirring Wildwood, a card that hasn't been seen play in Modern in a long time. Having to block with the Overlord, the Stirring Wildwood's still alive through that combat. There's a land. Passing the turn here. Must have just floated a colorless, I guess. Phantom attacking in. For 5 in the air, possibly. Well, it looks like the Orcish Bowmaster is going to come in, kill the Noble Hierarch. Make a token. Archon will get in. Dealing 4. What a match here. If there's no removal spell, even if there is a removal spell, it would take 2. Oh, there's a K command there too, but there's not a second colorless source. And here is a Sephiroth Fabled Soldier, the other namesake card of the deck. Going to drain the Hatebears player for 1. Bring it to 16-5. Drawing a card. How the Soultrader player wishes they had an Eldrazi Temple off of that. Passing the turn. And there's the path to exile. That'll exile the Sephiroth. Can't find the land thanks to the Arbiter. But also thanks to the fact that all the basics were found. And there's a Skyclave Apparition that will deal with the Orcish Bowmaster. Oh, can't do that. Cling to Dust takes 5. Or at least more than that. And scooping him up from there, that'll be game 1. Going to the classic Green White Hatebears. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. Moving into sideboarding, we'll see the Soultrader player bringing in more removal, whether that be sweepers, fatal pushes, flare of malice, that sort of thing. Really just trying to upgrade the removal that is in the main deck to try to deal with these main pieces by the Hatebear player, so he can survive and actually cast some spells. Hatebears probably bring in a certain amount of graveyard hate. At least here, Scavenging Ooze would be a main piece to bring in, as well as some more pieces of removal. Of course, moving into our ads, definitely check out our friends over at Arcane Artistry that make wonderful food, clue, and treasure tokens in the stained glass style. Etsy link in the description below. Definitely check them out. Their stuff has been featured here on this channel, as well as EDH Hijinks, as well as the Spike Feeders. So definitely check them out. Link in the description. And of course, we are hosted by Grove Warden Games, sponsor of our channel, a wonderful place to storm out. Their link to their storefront is in the description below. And they are currently working on their Magic the Gathering single card order portal. So that will be up running soon. If you're looking for anything, check them out there. And of course, check out artist of our channel, Sean Gerard. Makes wonderful professional and personal art if you're looking for that, whether it's a gift for a friend or just an art piece for your business. Definitely check them out. Email in the description and QR code up on the screen. And last but not least, check out our socials. We are at MTGScoundrels over on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. We're over there talking Magic Gathering. Mostly the modern format, though we do in fact dabble with other formats as well. So reach out to us there. In the comments below, let us know what decks you want to see. I know we say that every week, but we do mean it. We even got some Green White Hatebears this week. But we also got the Modern Pro Tour coming back. Finally coming up here the weekend of the 27th. Granted, they will definitely get started before that on the 26th of September. And the top 8 being on the 28th. Let us know what decks you will want to see at the Pro Tour. And even let us know who you think's going to win it. It's a wide open field at this point, at least in terms of decks. And maybe later this week we'll have a video going over just that. So look forward to it. Getting into game number 2 here. Of course, between Green White Hatebears and Sephiroth Soultrader. Starting off once again with the Cave of Agadim. threatening that mass amount of mana. Forest into Noble Hierarch. Noble Hierarch just makes me think of humans, but that is a quick K command to take out the Noble Hierarch early and making an Eldrazi spawn. Plains and go. Really keeping him off of Coco early is not a bad plan whatsoever. There's a swamp into double Stitcher Supplier, trying to turn that mana on. Sephiroth and Bogart Trawler. And looks like one more creature ended up in the bin there. Oh, another Bogart Trawler. Passing the turn. Of course, on a greedy mana deck like this, when you're really having to play non-basics for colorless sources, Hatebears does a good job of fighting through that. There is a Ghost Quarter. There is a Noble Hierarch. Passing the turn. Attacking him for 2. There's a Phyrexian Tower. And passing from there. Horizon Canopy. And passing. Llanowar Waste. Attacking him for 2. There is Coco. Bringing us to 19 to 20. Well, there's double White Orchid Phantom. Really going after the lands here. So Cave of Agademe getting activated. One for a Fatal Push. And then 2 more to hardcast Flare of Malice to get rid of the other White Orchid Phantom. The 2 lands will be destroyed. And finding 2 basics. Now, we know from earlier there's only 3 basics in the deck. Hatebears going to 18. Or more specifically, 17 after the Horizon Canopy activation. Untapping. Another Canopy. Here's a Solitude. Exiling a Stitcher Supplier. That'll bring us to 16 to 21. Or more specifically, 15 to 21. Tapped Cave. passing the turn. Solitude getting in. Gaining 4 life. 3 creatures go to the bin. 4 if you include the Stitcher Supplier. So that'll bring us to 19 to 21. Ghost Quarter going to hit the cave. And that's a fail to find. But taking the free shuffle. There is Overlord. Putting another creature in the bin. Looks like finding a Worn Soultrader. There was a Gravecrawler in there. Passing the turn. In step, Collected Company. Finding a Noble Hierarch and a Skyclave Apparition. And then Path to Exile going to take care of the Overlord. Sephiroth player will shuffle. Flicker Wisp is going to target the token. Solitude will get in for 5. I'll bring us to 23 to 16. Canopy, drawing a card, passing the turn. Ooh, there is a timely Toxic Deluge. Looks like that's for 2. That'll bring us to 23 to 14 and clear the board. And then taking 1 off the line of our waste to impend an Overlord. This time grabbing... Oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, scoundrels, unfortunately, that Overlord is not allowed to grab that Sephiroth. Luckily that path is not going to actually hit that Overlord there. So why is Sephiroth not allowed to be grabbed? Well, specifically it has the word Avatar printed on it. And Overlord cannot grab avatars. Here is an Archon of Emeria. So, now granted there was a Marionette Apprentice, so there were some options, but for what it's worth, it's also kind of ridiculous that Sephiroth has Avatar printed on it, between its other words. Here is Worn Soultrader that's getting cast. But now this Archon gets to do some damage. That'll bring us to 23 to 11. Then a White Orchid Phantom's going to deal with the cave. Now, granted, nobody's doing this maliciously in terms of grabbing the Sephiroth there. Both players just missing it. Untapping, drawing. Well, there's a Kozilek's command. That'll hit the Archon. X equals 4. Making 4 spawns. Attacking one spawn to the Soultrader, taking a damage. Casting a Gravecrawler. Path to Exile is going to deal with the Worn Soultrader. After the Ghost Quarter deals with the Canopy to not take a damage. Soultrader exiled. And the rest of them taking damage to make the treasures, and then the Sephiroth will come in, exiling the Gravecrawler. Alright, quick adjustment for the lighting here. White Orchid Phantom getting in for 2. And there's a Flicker Wisp. Playing a land, Phantom comes back. Not taking the shuffle. There's a Soultrader. There's the Gravecrawler. And that'll do it for Game 2. Game 2 going to Sephiroth Soultrader. Unfortunately, under a circumstance neither player noticed. But that's alright. We move forward to game number 3. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. We appreciate you all watching. Even with the occasional mishap. One thing to note, all these videos are in fact edited afterwards. So we cannot actually let the players know when something happens. Granted, they are notified later, and they all apologize profusely. So nobody's out here trying to get up over one another. These are all friendly matches, and we appreciate everybody. And luckily, we've been able to get some new decks on the channel. In this case, in Green White Hatebears. Appreciate them coming out and playing. As we'll be moving into game number 3 quickly here. Both players looking at 7. Starting out, tap Temple Garden, tapped Cave, Gavating Township, Old Modern Classic, and a Leonin Arbiter. That's a heck of a start. Llanowar Waste into a Marionette Apprentice. That'll come with the servo. Whew, there is a Path to Exile. Taking care of the Apprentice, attacking him for 2. That'll bring us to 20 to 18. And there's a Worn Soultrader, attacking him for 1. 19 to 18. Then taking 1 off the Canopy and exiling the Worn Soultrader. Noble Hierarch getting in for 3 here. Bring us to 18 to 15. Phyrexian Tower played. Phyrexian Tower sacrificing the servo to make 2 black mana into a Bogart Trawler and a Gravecrawler, passing from there. Arbiter attacking in. Taking 3. I'll bring us to 18 to 12. That may be a spot where you decide to block with a trawler. But here we are attacking him for 5. I'll bring us to 13 to 12. Tapped Cave for turn. Into a Sephiroth. Sacking a Gravecrawler, draining for 1. Drawing a card. End step, Collected Company. Taking 1 off the canopy. Only finding a Phelia here. And there is a Flare of Malice sacking the Bogart Trawler. Draining for 2. Arbiter is getting sacrificed here instead of the Phelia, so that means probably not a Phantom in hand. Though maybe there still is. There is a Scavenging Ooze. Attacking him for 3. No targets. Alright. Untapping. Is there... Can't really see exactly what's in hand. That might be a Gravecrawler. There is an Eldrazi Temple. Speaking of, there's the Gravecrawler. The Noble Hierarch going to tap for the Scoos to eat the other Gravecrawler. Oh, there's a Toxic Deluge in hand. Oh, that might have been the window to... That might have been the window to take everything out there and negate the amount of life lost. I know sometimes you want to save it for a larger board, but getting rid of that Scoos would have been probably the right thing to do there, and keep them off of 4 mana. Phelia. Gonna attack in for 3. This time Sephiroth deciding it's gonna block. Draining for 1. Gravecrawler will come back. Ooh, drew a land. Gravecrawler attacking in. 2 damage on the Scoos. Still 3 mana up. Deciding to cast a Toxic Deluge now. Oh, that might have been a problem. Doing it for 5. Floating a mana. And there's the Collected Company, taking 1 off of the canopy. Looking at 6. Ooh, finding Phelia and Sanctifier and Vec. Exiling the graveyard. An unblockable force. E-Temple gets played for turn. Activating the Gavening Township. Something you don't see every day. Attacking in for 6. Brings us to 7-2. What will the Soultrader player find? Just a Fatal Push, and that'll do it. Game, set, match. Rightfully so, going to Green White Hatebears. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. And we will see you all next week.